Hear you.
Okay, you're in the studio. Good. I'm not sure if the truck can hear us. Oh, okay. Yeah, do the intro. Go ahead, Ashley.
I don't know all the kids' names.
Right now?
It's
Yeah.
easy.
Okay.
When you think glass,
start it now.
think gamer.
Did you get this?
Woo, she got all that.
And now, high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Number one in the 3A. Sholo Cougars currently ranked, I believe, number 4.
Good afternoon and welcome
So
to
both these
Sholo
teams
High
had a lot of
School
success this year.
for today's special
good luck to
presentation
both
of
you
the
guys in the game
Snowflake
today.
Lobos versus the Sholo Cougar
Yeah, we're
girls. We're going to turn it right over to the PA announcer of his special announcement this morning.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome onto the field former high school softball coach Stan Bingham, along with his wife Rose Bingham, who's been a great support to him over the years, and his children and grandchildren. So if we can get Coach Bingham and his family out on the field, we're going to acknowledge them, recognize them. As many of you have noticed, there's a new sign on the backside of the announcer's booth. Today, check that out on your way out tonight. Very nice sign recognizing the Sholo High School softball field as the Stan Bingham softball field. We also, yes, a round of applause, thank you. We'd also like to recognize on the field today and here in the present, Mr. Farrell Adams, Mr. Ben Marchant, possibly Mr. Shad Housley, school district superintendent may be here also here shortly. And also junior high, Megan Dorsett and Robert Hummer. My name is David Nicholas. I'm the athletic director here at Sholo High School, and I'd like to read just a brief statement about Stan Bingham and why this field is named in his honor. Stan Bingham was born and raised in Weston, Idaho, where he graduated from Westside High School. He continued his education at Ricks College and Brigham Young University, earning a degree in physical education. He later obtained a master's degree in administration from the Northern Arizona University. Stan moved to Snowflake in 1971 to teach PE and coach. A year later, he relocated to Sholo. Throughout the following 27 years, Stan taught PE, was an assistant principal, and coached in Sholo. During this time, his five children graduated from Sholo High School. During the summer months, Stan worked for the city of Sholo. In 1976, Stan started a slow pitch softball league, followed by a girls fast pitch league in 1980. For many years, Stan organized and managed several adult softball leagues, slow pitch tournaments, men's fast pitch tournaments, and girls fast pitch leagues and tournaments. In 1982, Stan began coaching softball at Sholo Junior High School. 2 years later, in 1984, Stan became the first softball coach for Sholo High School. He continued to coach at both the junior high and varsity levels through 1999. During this time, Stan led the Sholo varsity softball team to 10 conference championships, played in 6 Arizona 3A state championship games, winning 3 state titles. The successes of Coach Bingham's team speak volumes for his coaching abilities. However, it is not possible to truly measure his success during his coaching career in Sholo. Stan coached hundreds of athletes and was dedicated to use softball as a teacher to instill lifelong characteristics and skills such as discipline, goal setting, hard work, persistence, high expectations, and patience. Many of his athletes, including all 3 of his daughters, earned softball scholarships to continue their education and softball careers at the collegiate level. And as I mentioned also, Coach Bingham's wife, who's been a support to him throughout this time, is here with him as well today, Rose Bingham. At this time, we'd like to invite any any and all those present who once played for Coach Bingham to join us on the field. We'd also like to invite anyone who's coached with Coach Stan to join us as well, including Court Courtson, a longtime varsity assistant coach. As you notice, Snowflake's head coach, Noel Stratton, is also a former Show Low Cougar. Thanks, Coach. Now, we'd also like to invite any softball players who are the daughters, who are daughters or have been coached by any of those on the field, to stand and wave to the crowd. Thank you. As you can see, Coach Bingham's influence is still having a positive impact on our community. This influence will continue to have a ripple effect throughout many generations. Coach Bingham has truly built the foundation of success in our community. Thank you, Coach Bingham. We're proud to have your name welcome all opponents as they arrive to take on the Show Low Cougar softball teams. How about a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Coach Stan Bingham. Now, if we could have the Show Low catcher at home plate, we're going to have Coach Stan Bingham throw the first pitch of the game today and honor him that way. Hopefully he can still make it across the plate. I think he'll be okay. He's going to go underhand, it looks like. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. He's still got it. Okay, finally, we'd like to thank quickly all the sponsors and those who have contributed to help out with Show Low softball and this program, this school, this team, this facility. We know there's many people that have helped out and contributed to this program, so thank you to all of you guys. Also, those that helped out with the sign today and the new dugouts and different things going on at the field. Western Grade, Melissa Covington of American Family Insurance, DeWitt's Truck and Auto, Show Low Ford, Napa Auto Parts in Show Low, Vaughn's Cabinets, Horn Auto, Phil and Katie White, Cher Bingham Cooper. The custom sign was made by Mike Day at Advanced Metalworks, and Ed Beebe at Beebe's Custom Powder Coating painted the sign. Thank you once again to all those who have participated and helped out. We appreciate the AIA officials letting us take this time prior to this game and the Snowflake Lobos. Again, good luck to both teams here today, and thank you, Stan Bingham and family, for your contributions to Show Low High School.
So there you have it, today's presentation of the officially now Stan Bingham softball field here in Show Low. We'll be back here. You're listening to Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball, or softball, on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. When we return, we will have the Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report, and we'll also have the Ace Hardware's keys to the game. You're listening to Show Low Ford's presentation of high school softball right here on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
baseman, number 6, Katie Hall. Starting pitcher, number 15, Lauren Clark. Starting first baseman, number
15
14,
seconds.
Autumn.
Give me another one.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year.
That wraps up our national anthem here from the Stan Bingham softball field in Show Low campus of Show Low High School. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk 1067.com. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center has an advanced diagnostics department with outstanding orthopedic and physical therapy teams. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. And this afternoon, it's a really nice afternoon on the field here, and we don't have any injuries to report. Did you happen to talk to any coaches? So no injuries to report. We think we got a good rosters. As we're filling in our rosters, we're getting ready for a great matchup here between two girls softball squads as the teams meet at home plate there.
Ron, I did hear a little bit earlier from, speaking of the injury report, from one of the moms on the team from Snowflake that Talitha Binney had been struggling with a reconstructive surgery this last year. It's been a pretty big deal, and so she's been fighting back over that over the last year. She's doing good. She's on the lineup tonight as a flex player, so
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So that's been your Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. And just to remind you, with an advanced diagnostic department and outstanding orthopedic and physical therapy teams, Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. We'll take a break, and when we get back, we'll have the Ace Hardware keys to the game. And you're listening to Show Low Ford's presentation of high school softball right here on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
by Dave Nicholas, the AD, special commemorative day here where Stan Bingham and family are honored as they put up the sign and rename and name the field, the softball field. And it sounds like Stan had just an amazing tenure here at Sholo, and he affected so many players, even affecting Noel Stratton, the coach of the team that they're playing today. So it's a nice presentation.
That's right, Ron. It was neat to see all the families and members out there on the field just kind of getting recognized this afternoon as we get this softball game under wraps here. A little bit better weather today than the last game that we got to hang out at. We had a little bit of snow last night, but coming out to a sunny day today in the low 50s right now. A little chilly for us. We're in the shade, but looks like all the players are out in the sun, and it's not too windy. It's looking pretty good out there.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Your Ace Hardware keys to the game. Ace Hardware reminds you that it has 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car or just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware, your helpful place with 3 locations in Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. Blake, you touch on the lineups in just a minute, but we'll see how these the keys of the game, like we saw in the game, the Blue Ridge game against Sholo the other night, just eliminating errors was key to that game, and I got to believe that that's going to be key in this game here too.
Yeah, I know for Snowflake baseball, we've seen some aggressive batters come up to the plate, and so it'd be interesting to see what Snowflake softball has to offer as far as the aggression at the plate, if they're going to attack the ball right away, if they're looking for pitches, looking for walks, how their approach is. And so we'll get things started off right now. Pitches in and hit right up to the center to the pitcher, and she's going to make the play at first base. That's going to be number 2. Oh, I'm sorry. They called saved.
Yeah, she was safe. Nice little kind of a running bunt. Pitch is on its way and is good for a strike, I believe it was. Pitching today for the Cougars is number 15, Lauren Clark. Clark has the windup, pitches on its way, and it's swung and hit right back to the pitcher. The pitcher throws it to first for out number 1 here in the first inning from the first ever game on the officially now Stan Bingham softball field. We want to thank you guys for tuning in here on a great afternoon down at the campus of Sholo High School. I'm Ron Everingham, and I am Mike's side, Blake Murchison, as we bring you girls softball, high school basketball, softball. Well, I can't figure out what sport we're in here, Blake. Pitch is on its way and is in for a ball 1. 1-0 is the count. Pitch is on its way. Swing and fouled off down the third base side. Lauren Clark, the pitcher for the Cougars. Pitching now to number 10, Shanae Stratton. Ooh, a nice changeup pitch there is actually hit, just blooped over the third baseman's head, and that's going to be a single.
Nice shot by Stratton right over the shortstop.
Down to second base goes the Snowflake Lobos, and we're having some technical difficulties getting our book all set here for the game, and so sorry for the confusion. Snowflake with a man on second and third here with one down. Pitch on its way. Ooh, swung right up the middle. It's a nice shot right up the middle by number 6, Haley Bauer, and that's going to score 2. Haley tries to go to second base, and she's safe. Lots of action early on here in the game. That was going to be a 2-run RBI there. Now Snowflake Lobos 2, the Show Low Cougars 0, the top of 1.
That one go.
And that's going to bring up to bat Shaylee Hensley. She's a first baseman, number 8. Pitch on the way. It's low, ball called. Snowflake with a man on second. Pitch on the way, high and outside. And you can tell, Blake, here with the softball, the girls pitching from a lot closer, and that ball's still coming in just as fast, perspective-wise, with the amount of time they have to react to it.
That's right.
Nice pitch for a strike there by Lauren Clark. One down, top of 1. Pitch on its way is going to be fouled off. It's going to take our count to 2-2. Lauren with the windup, pitches, little changeup, a nice shot right back up the middle. The Snowflake girls coming out and hitting the ball, and that's going to score a run, and she's going to try to advance to second, and she does after a dropped ball. So Snowflake coming out and hitting the ball.
Wow, what a great hit by Hensley. She waited on that changeup pitch. She saw the change in speed, and we're right behind the backstop, Ron. We got a great view of the pitches coming in, and Clark's been throwing the heat right in there. And a huge changeup, great pitch by Clark, but good job by Hensley waiting on that pitch and just driving it straight at the middle.
Clark's first pitch is outside, fastball outside. Second pitch on its way is swung on and fouled off down the towards the dugout on the third base side.
That was a little bit on the inside pitch, and Chandler got a little ahead of that, fouled it off. Probably a good swing on her part.
Snowflake girls making great contact with the ball here the first thing this afternoon. That pitch was a ball called, a little high. Brings our count to 2-1. Pitch on the way is low. It's going to be 3 balls, 1 strike.
Ron, one difference here that we see in the softball league versus the baseball is runners are not allowed to take a lead off until the ball actually leaves the pitcher's hand. And so you see Hensley on second base watching the pitch and then taking a hefty lead as soon as the ball leaves the hand of Lauren Clark.
That pitch, change up inside, is fouled off over the dugout. Way ahead of it is number 12, Chandler Johnson. Here comes the pitch. Chandler looks at it, but it's a ball inside. She hustles down to first, and that's going to be another walk by Lauren Clark.
Up next, we got Jessica Neff playing third base for the Snowflake Lobos this afternoon.
3-0 is our score. The top of 1. Snowflake with two men on base. Oh, and one of the runners going to be in a quick, well, that was kind of a strange play. It looks like the runners had a little bit of a lead off, and the catcher decided to throw it down to first, Blake. And after soon as the ball headed to first base, the runner from second base took off at a stolen base to third, and then they tried to get the girl out at second base, and she was safe also. So nothing working quite right there for the Cougars, and they're going to take a second and meet about it there at the pitcher's mound. Some great pictures from our White Mountain production, youth production crew, bringing you the sights as we bring the sounds of high school athletics. And so if you're tuning in on the iTalk1067.com or on our YouTube page, you can see some of these great sights of this day. And Sholo taking an early deficit here, 0-3. Only one out here in the top of the first. Snowflake with 2 runners on. Runner on second and a runner on third. Comes the pitch from Clark. Swing and a miss. And the runner ran down, but it didn't matter. The catcher caught the ball, so she was out.
Now coming to bat, it's going to be McCray. On deck be Hensley.
Next up is Haley McCray for the Snowflake Lobos. Pitch on its way. There's a great view from our center field camera. Strike on the outside part of the plate. Swing and a miss. 0-2 is our count.
I think right there, Ron, you see the speed that Clark's got on that ball as McCray's just a little bit behind that pitch. Really quick pitch on the outside corner.
That hit on its way is going to be a foul ball.
And that was a good job by McCray guarding the plate on that pitch. Not the one that she wanted to hit for sure, but you can't watch those come in. They're too close to call when you're down 0-2.
Yeah, we just talked about that the other night. We saw some boys taking some close backwards Ks. Foul ball. Seems like Clark's really finding her groove and working the plate with some different pitches.
I like how she's working the speed pitches in there. You know, you've got several fastballs in a row, and she's really doing a great job working that off-speed pitch.
She may come back with an off-speed right here. Nope. Fastball outside. That's 2-1. Excuse me. 2-2. 1-2 is the count. There's a shot right at the shortstop. Shortstop throws to first, and that's out, and that's going to retire the first half inning of play. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball right here on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year.
Welcome back to Stan Bingham Softball Field here on the campus of Sholo High School. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball right here on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. I'm Ron Everingham, and we're field side right here behind the gate with Blake Murchison right behind the backstop. I don't think there's any better seats than this.
No, Ron. How much did you pay for these seats?
Yeah, well, let's just keep that on the DL.
You got the hookup.
So, Sholo, we'll see how Sholo can respond. Snowflake coming out with some big bats there right at the top of the first inning. And we got a score of 3-0. On the mound today for the Snowflake Lobos is Breckley Tanner. And up to bat for the Cougars is Mackenzie Isaac. She's batting in the number 1 spot here for the Cougars. First pitch is on its way, and it's low and back here to the backstop. Second pitch is on its way. Now it's a strike, but a hit right up the middle. Thrown over to first, and that's going to be an out. That's one down here in the bottom of the first. Third baseman. That brings up to bat Paige Kerr for the Cougars. And she tries to lay down a bunt. It's going to be fouled off. 0-1's the count. Second pitch is on its way. And that's hit right back up the middle. A little blooper, just barely missed by the shortstop. And that's going to be Sholo's first hit of the afternoon. Nice hit there by Paige to get a runner on. It's going to bring up to bat number 3, Haley Housley.
Ron, I like to see that both teams are being aggressive at the plate today so far, right off the bat. No pun intended, I guess.
Breckley's pitch is on the way, and it's inside. Nice stop there by the catcher. Shanae Stratton, number 10. Sholo with their first base runner. Runners on first. Score of 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. Pitch on the way. Right down the middle is going to be called strike. Takes the count to 1-1.
I think Housley was looking at that, thinking it was a little bit low, but again, it's the height of where it crosses over the plate.
Yeah, Breckley Tanner isn't throwing quite as hard as we saw Lauren Clark throwing, but nice off-speed pitch there, and we're going to have a stolen base. And like you mentioned, Blake, here with girls softball, the runner is a little bit of a disadvantage because they can't even leave the bag until it leaves the pitcher's hand. And still got a stolen base on that one.
Yeah, I think she took advantage of the pitch on that. That's the nice thing about these girls. They're paying really close attention on what's happening with the pitcher. As soon as it leaves the hand, they're watching. And good heads-up base running by Paige Kerr.
Pitch is on its way, and it's going to be looked a little low, but it was called strike. 2-2 is the count. One down here in the bottom of the first inning. Snowflake Lobos 3, Sholo Cougars 0. Cougars with one base runner on second. Pitch on its way is inside, but nice hit there out to the center fielder is going to be an out. And that pitch looked like it was going to be hard to get a bat on, but Haley Housley was able to get a bat on it. She just couldn't get any power on that ball because it was placed in such a place on the inside of the plate that made it so she couldn't hit it in the meat of the bat.
We got Megan Reedhead up to bat now.
Pitch on its way is low and inside. Nice stop again by the Snowflake catcher. Number 10, Shanae Stratton, who we saw up to bat a little bit ago. Tanner's pitch on the way is low and inside again. Their nice eye by Reedhead. Tanner's pitch on the way is swung and fouled off back to the backstop by Reedhead. Two and one's the count. Pitch on its way. Ooh, nice changeup. Fouled off.
being that off-speed pitch, I think Reed had just got a little bit too far ahead of that.
Yeah.
Strong hit ball, though.
Those are hard to wait on.
Yeah.
You got to be really patient. Really patient, and it was a nice change up there. And Reedhead just couldn't wait long enough on it. Here comes the pitch by Tanner. A little inside. Reedhead fouls it off. It's going to keep our count at 2-2. I want to thank you for tuning in to iTalk Show Low Ford's presentation of high school softball right here on iTalk, and we're at the bottom of the first inning, 3-0 to the Snowflake Lobos. Pitch on its way is popped up, and it's going to have a chance for a play on it, but falls. Foul ball. Going to keep our count at 2-2 here in the bottom of the first inning. Megan Reedhead is up to bat, facing Breckley Tanner. Tanner, pitch being set up to go to the outside. Nice pitch. She hit the glove just perfectly. That's exactly what the catcher called for, and that was strike 3 looking, and that's going to end the second inning here from Bingham Softball Field. You're listening to Show Low Ford's presentation. It's the end of the first inning. You're listening to Show Low Ford's presentation of high school softball right here on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
.net.
Welcome back to Bingham Field. We're on the softball field here on the campus of Show Low High School. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. We're starting our second inning. Northland Pioneer College wants to remind you, when it comes to starting your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona. That's Northland Pioneer College. First pitch by Clark on its way, and it's going to be a ball called. Up to bat is
Riley Hensley.
Riley Hensley. Strike called, 1-1's the count. Pitch on its way is low. Ball 2.
Actually, she did end up swinging at that, Ron.
Oh, a check
That's
swing,
gonna be
called strike.
Yeah.
That's why I encourage you guys to watch the video so you can see all of our errors and you can, correct it yourself. Great shots there by the White Mountain Youth Production crew. That pitch is going to be a ball called. 2-2's our count. Pitch on its way is low by Clark. Lauren Clark again came out first inning throwing really well, but the bats of the Snowflake Lobos were just better, and Snowflake taking a 3-0 lead. That's hit right up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit by Riley Hensley. Hensley playing left field this afternoon. And already, just that quick, Snowflake's through its lineup, and they're going to get back to the top. Up to bat is Kaylee Thomas.
Ooh. Tough check swing by Kaylee Thomas with a ball that was really far out on the outside plate, but she ended up getting called strike for that. And Kaylee Thomas looks like she's 1 for 1, had a single in the first inning.
Oh, nice swing there, hit over to third base. Third base gets it to second for the out. Nice play, well executed, and that was kind of like a drag bunt or something to that effect. Hit straight over to the third baseman. She was charging on the play, and she was able to throw out the runner running to second, which was even what seemingly could have been a sacrifice to get the runner over. Couldn't do it.
Breckley Tanner's up now, and she had a ground out in the first inning.
Tanner fouls off the first pitch. Going to take our count to 0-1.
Tanner's a senior this year. Ron, I got some insider information earlier about this game that a lot of these girls grew up. Ooh.
Ouch.
Tough call. She got pegged in the, looked like in the helmet.
That's why we wear helmets.
Just doing its job here, but that earns her a base. Going to take a little walk to shake that off. But yeah, I was getting some insider information earlier today, Ron. A lot of these girls grew up playing club ball together, and they've been together for a long time, several years on the Snowflake Lobos team, and so it's neat to see them being able to play at this capacity in varsity high school softball, especially for people like Tanner. This is her senior year.
Yeah, and we hear the same story when we heard Greg talking last game, even with some of the boys traveling. And again, it's part of mountain life. It's part of living part of our smaller communities where these kids, most of them, have been playing sports together no matter what school you go to for quite a while, right, in different club teams. And so it makes it fun for the families.
Stratton's up at the plate now. She's got a ball on the call here. She was 1 for 1, had a single in the first.
Oh, another single there. That goes 2 for 2 for Stratton. That gets it over to center fielder, and the center fielder throws it to third base to check the runner at second. And as that happened, the runner from third advanced to home and scores, and that's going to take our score Snowflake Lobos 4, Show Low Cougars 0. This Snowflake team is come out hitting the ball.
Yeah, these guys are really aggressive at the plate and heads-up base running as well.
Yes, it was. Pitch on its way is high and inside. Ball.
Haley Bowers batting .435 this season so far, at least according to our stat sheet here.
Yeah. Lauren Clark on the mound for the Cougars. Pitch is on its way. It's high and outside. Again, welcome to Bingham Softball Field. This is the first broadcast where we can actually say that. They had a nice presentation there. Stan Bingham and family was here earlier. That's hit shortstop. Shortstop easily takes care of that and gets the runner out at first. But our runners advance to second and third here with 2 down. Really a smart play there by the fielder just to get the out, get to 2 outs, and the runners at second and third are insignificant if you can just concentrate here on the batter.
That's right. It's not a bad deal here. 2 outs is the sacrifice, obviously, but now you got 2 runners in scoring position.
Strike called. The problem is Hensley's up to bat, and her last time up, she hit a double. So if she comes up with a big stick here, that's going to be two more runs scored. We'll see how Clark attacks her.
Hensley's got some height on her, Ron. Looks like she's about as tall as you.
She may be. Quick throw back down to third. Runner safe, but nice heads up throw there by the catcher. Again, it's been a pretty clean game. No errors to this point. Pitch on its way. Ooh, hit. Nice stroke there. It's going to be caught by the center fielder. And that was just a beautiful play there by Mackenzie Isaacs out in the outfield. She almost misplayed it, almost went overhead, but she got the out, and that's going to be the end of the first part of the inning number 2, and we're going to head to the bottom of the second here. Snowflake Lobos 4, Show Low Cougars 0. We'll see how they respond. You're listening to Show Low Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. Clark's coming up.
Welcome back to Show Low, Arizona. You're listening to Show Low Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com. We join you back for the bottom of the second inning in the Show Low Cougars versus the Snowflake Lobos
Bingham
softball game.
field.
That's right. Ron, that was just renamed this afternoon. We got to be a part of that ceremony.
It was nice. It was very nice. It's going to be interesting to see, Blake, here what Show Low Cougars can do. They're down big here. 4-0. Up to bat is number 9, Tia Clark.
Tia Clark steps up to the plate, and facing on the mound, Breckley Tanner. Pitch number 1 comes in, and it's going to be a called high inside for ball number 1.
I don't think we had all of our pitch counts down for softball, but that is 15 total only for Tanner.
And pitch number 2 is going to be a little bit high and outside. It's going to be ball number 2.
She's split her pitches pretty evenly, Blake. 7 balls, 9 strikes here in this afternoon's matchup so far. Batter calls timeout.
That's a good call by Clark there. Tanner's taking her time reading the catcher's call on this next pitch. Step out of the box, reconfigure. Pitch number 3 is going to be high again. That's ball number 3, 3 balls straight in a row. Be interesting to see if she takes this next pitch no matter what.
On deck is number 6, Kaylee Hall.
And that's going to put her on the base. Tia Clark gets a walk. This ball number 4 was in the dirt. It looks like we're going to come out with a courtesy runner here, number 12. The first pitch up is going to be a nice pitch, high, a little bit high on the inside, but she went for it. We got number 6, Kaylee Hall, so it's going to be called strike number 1. Big swing. Pitch is in high, and the runner takes off to steal. And man, Ron, I got to think that she might have had that out, but bobbled the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Catcher didn't get the ball out in time, and so runner's safe at second. So we've got no outs here. And we've got a runner on second for the Show Low Cougars. Up to bat is Kaylee Hall, and she's 0-1 in the count. Pitch number 2, huge hit out towards left field, deep left field, but it's going to be just foul.
She got all of that one. And pinch running for the Cougars is number 12, Armater.
Big shot by Kaylee Hall. Unfortunately, it was just foul. In baseball, we used to call that like a really long strike.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. That's about all it is. Helps your pride, though.
Oh, nice hit, though. This is going to be fair, and it's going to drop right in for a base hit. It's going to advance Armater to third base for the Cougars, and Hall's going to make it to first for a nice single.
It was a nice single there.
So Cougars have got a runner on third and a runner on first. No outs here as they try to get something started. Try to answer the Lobos. Pitch number 1 to number 15 on the
Lauren
Cougars
Clark.
is going to be a big swinging strike. It was a little bit high on the inside, and man, she's delivering the heat on the mound for us today, isn't she?
Yes, that's our pitcher, Lauren Clark, up to bat now. Ooh, nice changeup.
Pitch number 2 is going to be ball, and that's going to advance the runners. Going to take a stolen base here for the Cougars. So we've got runners on second and third for Show Low as Clark's up to bat. 1-1 is the count. As Tanner's looking for the pitch from the catcher, winds up. Ooh, real inside on that was ball number 2. brushed Clark away from the plate.
And this is really as much as Tanner's been challenged here in this afternoon's contest here in the bottom of the second.
Clark takes a swing at that, gets a little piece of it, foul tip right into the backstop, but that's out of play. So it's going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes on the count.
You know, I like what I see from Lauren as a batter. She looks at the first 2 balls and then, you know, sees one that she likes and goes for it.
That's right. Comes the pitch, and it's going to be just outside. It's going to be 3-2 full count. Got runners on second and third for the Cougars. No outs here, looking to get some kind of energy started here, Ron.
Great opportunity for the Cougars.
Comes the pitch.
Oh, wow.
Inside pitch. She hits it off the handle. They're going to try to make the play at the home plate, and they get number 12, the pinch runner, out at the plate.
You know what's really strange about that is the runner didn't slide. It was almost like the runner was confused, but we got to remember that's a that was a substitute runner, so maybe somebody who's not quite as you know, familiar with what to do. And he did let me know that some of the subs today are JV players, and so.
Well, that's going to be an RBI for Lauren Clark, and then we're going to have a substitute runner in for her as well. So they did end up getting on the board. Cougars have got 1 up there, so 4-1. Lobos are up. No outs still. We got our runners at first and third. Pitch number 1 is going to be hit foul, out of play, off to the right-hand side. Number 14's up to bat for the Cougars, and be interesting to see if we have the runner on first try to take a stolen base here. Well, that's going to be out number 2. We hit a pop fly to second base, and I don't know if that was out because she caught it or if it was the infield fly rule into effect. But regardless, that's out number 2. And I think I said 4-1 earlier, but that's not true. That score was not made at the plate. They tagged her out. So we've got 2 outs run. 4-0 still is the score. Yeah.
To where?
And first pitch is a strike. Second one's a strike too. We've got 0-2. Man, Tanner's doing a great job of digging out of this hole. We've had runners around the bases for the Cougars, but no one able to make a score yet.
Up to bat is Shy Wheeler.
And that's going to be it for the side there as Wheeler goes down swinging on strike number 3. And the Lobos able to hold the lead even with runners on. We'll be back in a jiffy. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Forming lives.
Brandon Todd.
Welcome back to Sholo, Arizona, as we are at the home of the Cougars here for high school softball. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball, brought to you on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com. First pitch in for the Lobos up as we start off inning number 3 is going to be a ball. And Ron, who do we got up at the plate?
Up to bat, we have number 12, Chandler Johnson. Takes another ball.
And she's actually going to watch strike number 1 come in. Johnson
1
at the plate.
Last time up to bat, she walked, so she's 0 for 0.
And she hits it to third base, but they make a routine play, a little grounder, and that's going to be out number 1 for the Lobos. And it's going to bring up.
Up to bat, we have number 3, Jessica Neff for the Lobos.
Neff's a senior this year. Going to square around to bunt, and she does, right back to the pitcher, unfortunately, and that's going to be out number 2 for the Lobos. So far, 2 up, 2 down. Although score remaining 4-0 as we are kicking off the 3rd inning here.
Now bat'll be McCray.
Up to bat, number 15, Haley McCray. Seen a lot of bunts here this afternoon.
We have,
Girls
yeah.
trying to catch the fielders off balance.
Nice hit by McCray. It's going to be right past the third baseman into out to the outfield. Ron, would you call that a base hit or an error on the third base?
I'm going to give that a base hit.
That's
I thought
a strong hit.
It was hit hard. It was a line drive. So we're going to give her a base hit on that one.
Nice hit by McCray. So she's going to be up on first base, and good job by left fielder getting the ball back in, keeping that to a single.
Up to bat is number 4, Riley Hensley. Last time up to bat, she had a single.
Strike number 1 for Hensley right down the pike, man. Caught looking on that one. Ron, we saw the Cougars try to answer last inning, but unfortunately not able to bring anybody home.
Yeah, they left a couple stranded on base, and so far this afternoon, Snowflake has left 4 stranded on base, and Sholo's left 3 stranded on base. It's important once you get the runners on to make it count.
That pitch was a ball, but the catcher goes to check the runner at first, still with a leadoff, and she slides in, makes it safe. That's going to put the count at 2-1. 2 outs here. And they've got a big hit out into deep center field. Wow. It's going to be to the fence. Going to advance runners coming around to third base. She makes it up to second on that hit. Great shot by number 4, Hensley, sophomore this year, and that's going to advance runner over to third base. So we've got runners at second and third. 2-out rally here starting for the Lobos.
And Haley McCray advances down to third base on that hit. Hit hard out to the fence. You know, we mentioned earlier that's a foul ball there. We mentioned earlier, Blake, that Lauren Clark throwing the ball hard, but it seems like the Snowflake batters are right on it, and it's just leaving the bat that much faster.
That's right. Yeah, these guys are not afraid of that fastball, and they're being aggressive, which is great to see. Kaylee Thomas up is going to put the ball in play, but they are going to be throwing her out at first base. Nice play by the shortstop.
That's a big play right there.
The Cougars, and that's huge. That saves them the inning. That's out number 3. And we'll be right back. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Need hats, shirts, or jackets embroidered with your logo? Get custom embroidered products from Little Bluebird Studios. That's right, the company that does the best job screen printing t-shirts and hoodies now offers embroidery. Little Bluebird Studios is a local company with skilled designers that care about your company's image and brand. Call Little Bluebird Studios today, 928-351-7942, or online at littlebluebird.org. Little Bluebird Studios, the company that cares.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Sholo and the...
Welcome back to Sholo, Arizona, home of the Cougars. We're here. I'm Blake Murchison, Backstop side by Ron Everingham as we're bringing the game live to you here. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. As we kick off, or I guess we're midway through the inning here, we want to remind you that Northland Pioneer College, when it comes time to tip off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona. That's Northland Pioneer College. And Ron, we saw that the Cougars tried to make a big push this last inning. Great offense and great defense. Unfortunately, they weren't able to finish anything on the offense. We'll see what they do this time up to the plate.
Up to bat is number 4, Mackenzie Isaac.
Mackenzie gets the ball in play, but shortstop for the Lobos is going to make the catch, and that's going to be out number 1 for the Cougars. And that catch was made by number 12, Johnson, and she's a junior this year.
Up to bat now, number 5, Paige Kerr.
Pitch is going to be a called strike. Ron, I've noticed that the ump's been calling him a little bit on the low side, but he's been consistent in that. So the count's 0-1, 1 out. Pitch number 2 is going to be a high ball. That's 1-1 on the count. It was interesting as the batter for Sholo almost kind of ran forward on that pitch. I wasn't sure what was happening. Almost stepped out of the batter's box, which would have been a call to out, Ron. She swings at pitch number 3. Is going to go just foul, though. It's going to be 1-2 on the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, as the Cougars still trail the Lobos 0-4. Wow, really high pitch by Tanner on that one. That's going to be ball 2. Comes the pitch. That was in the dirt. That's ball 3. Full count here, 3-2. It's interesting. Paige Kerr is up to bat. I don't know if you noticed, she kind of moves forward in the batter's box after the pitch is made. Let's see what happens here. Watch this.
Yeah, she's taking a running shot at it.
Took a swing at that. That's going to be a foul ball. And they call that something in softball, Ron.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
A running start?
No. It's like
we don't
swatting or something. I think it's swatting.
Wow.
And
we need
it's
to check into that. Maybe
do.
some of our listeners could let us know.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do it. It looks like they're doing it. Ouch.
Man, another swing, another foul tip. That one's going to come off the bat and hit her ankle. Full count still. Here comes the pitch. Gonna swing, hit it right back up to the pitcher, Tanner. She's going to make the routine play at first, and that's going to be out number 2 for the Cougars as we have number 3 coming up to the plate, Housley. Pitch number 1 is just a little bit on the inside and a little bit high, so that's called ball 1. Pitch 2 is going to be called strike, hit just on that outside corner, and caught Housley looking on that. 1-1's the count, 2 outs for the Cougars as we're in the bottom of the 3rd inning here. 4-0 still the score for Lobos up on top. Here comes the pitch. And that one's going to be in the dirt. Ball number 2. Pitch is inside. Ball 3, 3-1. And pitch again is in the dirt on the inside. That's going to be ball 4, and Housley will be taking the base. So with 2 outs, Cougars have got a runner on first base as Reedhead steps up to the plate.
This is Megan Reedhead. And that batter right there might have been Sydney Davis. We're trying to work out our flex schedule here. Oh, nice hit.
And Reedhead's going to hit a nice shot out to right field, out to the fence. Is going to advance the runner over to home. And Cougars are going to get one on the board as she takes a double. Reedhead, it's a nice double out to the fence. And Ron, just like that, Cougars are on the board, 4-1. Let's see if they can get a 2-out rally going here in the 3rd inning. We've got number 9, Tia Clark, coming up to the plate. So 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd, 4-1. We have got a runner on second base. And first pitch to Clark is going inside for ball 1.
Tia with an opportunity here with 2 outs to try to score Mackenzie Isaac, who's on second base. 4-1's our score.
Pitch number 2 is in the dirt. That's ball number 2. You got to wonder if Tanner's got a little bit rattled after that huge hit from Reedhead.
Tanner delivering her 47th pitch here. Split even, 21 balls and 25 strikes here this afternoon.
And there you go, right down the pike. Caught looking on that one. Of course, that could have been intentional on Clark's point of view after seeing several balls in the dirt. So that's 2-1 on the count to Clark. Comes the pitch, and nice hit up the middle. That's going to be a base hit, and it's going to advance the runner. Reedhead's coming around to home, and she makes it. Clark's going to try to take second, and she does the throw, but the catch is knocked out of the glove by Clark as she runs through it. She's coming to home, and she slides in, is safe. Clark makes it all the way around the bases to home plate, and that's going to put the score at 4-3, Ron. And just like that, Cougars are right back in this game.
That was a big hit, heads up, and then a little collision down at second that actually knocked the ball back out to the fence. And so we're going to try to score this here quick.
Well, great running by Clark. I mean, if you get in the way, man, just plow through it.
Yes, that's what she did. That is what she did.
Dangerous move, but ends up in her favor as she rounds the bases and makes it all the way to home plate on that play. So with still 2 outs in the inning, Cougars are still up to bat. Bases are cleared off now, but we're going to bring up number 6 to the plate, Kaylee Hall. And the Cougars are right back in this game, 4-3. So Kaylee Hall is up to the plate. Pitch number 1 is going to be called strike as she watches that across the plate. Lobos had a quick team meeting there after all the action happened, just to reconvene. And pitch number 2 is going to be another called strike. That's 2 pitches gone by. Hall's going to really have to guard the plate here, as there's 2 outs and she's down 0-2 in the count. Here comes the pitch, and she takes a swing at that one. That's going to be popped right up to the pitcher. Tanner's going to make the catch for out number 3, and that's going to retire the side for the Lobos. And the Cougars, as we go into the bottom of the 4th, we'll take a quick break. You're listening to Shola Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
It's easy to see why the Ford F-150 is the #1 selling truck in America. For more than 40 years, no other truck has even come close. And Sholo Ford is hands down the best place to buy your next vehicle. Just take a look at Guy Hatch's promise. He won't be beat on any deal on any new Ford in the state of Arizona. And on top of that, you'll get a lifetime engine warranty. Go to SholoFord.com or visit them on the east end of the Deuce. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Welcome back to Sholo, Arizona, home of the Cougars, as you're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com. And as we come up to the top of the fourth, Northland Pioneer College wants to remind you that when it comes time to start off your college education, to choose the college with the lowest tuition rate in Arizona, that's Northland Pioneer College. And as we have Breckley Tanner steps up to the plate for the Lobos, is going to look at ball number 1 come by. Tanner pitching for the Lobos today. Here comes pitch number 2. She's going to take a swing and foul it off out of play behind the backstop. So that'll be 1-1 on the count. Pitch just inside. That's going to be ball 2, 2-1 on the count. Ron Tanner's hitting a .344 this year so far.
Yeah, she's 0 for 1 this afternoon. She's a ground out and hit by a pitch.
And she's going to put the ball in play on that one out to the left field, and a high fly ball is caught by left fielder for the Cougars, number 5, and that is Kerr.
Paige Kerr.
So it'll be out number 1 for the Lobos. Stepping up to the plate is number 10, Stratton. She's a senior this year. 1 out, nobody on base. Here comes the pitch. Pitch number 1 is going to be high. That'll be ball 1.
Shanae Stratton up to bat now. She's 2 for 2 this afternoon is what we've got her for with a couple singles. Wow. Nice change-up pitch there, but called ball.
We've seen that from Clark all game, Ron, as she's thrown in really nice off-speed pitches. Unfortunately, that was just a tad high, but really not much.
Threw quite a few pitches, 56 total. 57 right there for a strike.
It'll be 2-1 on the count.
4-3 is our score here in the top of the fourth.
And a pitch in the dirt. That'll be ball 3. Bring the count to 3-1, 1 out. This became a close game all of a sudden. Batter's going to call for time as she steps out of the bag. Out of the box. And takes a couple practice
Behind the
swings.
plate this afternoon is Mr. Chavez. That's Greg's dad right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a long time
the
official
infamous
of every sport.
And Clark has a nice pitch right down the middle. Is going to catch Stratton swinging for strike 2. That's 3-2 on the count. Well, Chavez is a local celebrity around here.
Yes, he is.
Stratton's going to put the ball in play, high pop up down center, and she's going to be dropped by the shortstop, and she's going to make it to first base, overthrown, running to second, and she dives in, but there's no throw, and so Stratton ends up getting a double off of an error from the Cougars. So that's the first error that we've seen today, Ron. And it goes to show that if you can at least get the ball in play, even if it's not a solid hit, you at least up your chances that much more by getting runners on base and, of course, upping your chances to get the points on the board. Yep, so we've got 1 out. Stratton's on second base for the Lobos. And that brings up number 6, Bauer, to the plate. And she hits it, ground ball right to third base. Going to make the throw, but overthrows first base. So Stratton's going to come around and score at home plate, and Bauer's going to make it to second. As she almost overruns second, they throw, and she dives back in to be safe at second base. And looked like that was third base who overthrew that plate at first, number 2 for the Cougars. Reedhead. So that's still only 1 out, and that's going to bring the score to 5-3 in the favor of the Lobos here. Number 8 up to bat, Hensley, senior this year. She looks for ball number 1 to come in a little bit high. 1 out, 5-3, Lobos on top. We've got a runner on second base. And Hensley's up at the plate. Pitch number 2 is going to be fouled out of play, back behind the backstop. Big swing by Hensley on that one. As we see the Lobos bats starting to ignite again here in the 4th inning.
5-3. Hensley 1 for 2 on the afternoon, a double and a fly out.
And the pitch, she dribbles up to the pitcher, but the pitcher does she make that play?
She's out.
Yeah, there we go. Routine play for Clark. It was a soft ground ball hit right back to the pitcher. She made the play over at first, but it did advance the runner to third base. So we've got a runner for the Lobos on third base. And
Haley Bauer.
2 outs.
Third.
Comes the pitch, and it's strike number 1 to number 12, Johnson. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, 5-3 with Bauer on third base for the Lobos in scoring position. Comes the pitch, it's going to be low and outside, 1-1 on the count. Rod, do we know what Chandler Johnson did earlier in the game so far?
She walked and grounded out.
And she's going to fly out here to third base, and that's going to retire the side for the inning as we end the top of the 4th. Snowflake Lobos on top 5, Sholo Cougars on bottom 3. That's going to end it for the top of the 4th inning. We'll be back in a minute. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
Need hats, shirts, or jackets embroidered with your logo? Get custom embroidered products from Little Bluebird Studios. That's right, the company that does the best job screen printing t-shirts and hoodies now offers embroidery. Little Bluebird Studios is a local company with skilled designers that care about your company's image and brand. Call Little Bluebird Studios today, 928-351-7942, or online at littlebluebird.org. Little Bluebird Studios, the company that cares.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
Welcome back to Sholo, Arizona, home of the Cougars. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 1067 and worldwide, Ron,
yes,
on iTalk1067.com. And if you are watching online, you can see the sounds and sights of our White Mountain Youth production as they bring you many different great angles here on the field today. I especially love that shot from center field, as you might be able to catch a glimpse of Ron and I backstop here.
Yes, it's an awesome one. That's what Ashley says anyhow.
Ooh. So pitch number 1 to Clark is going to be a strike 1 as she goes down swinging on that one. And Tanner's still pitching for the Lobos. No outs, 5-3. Snowflake Lobos on top here as we enter the bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch number 2.
You got it, Blake.
I might be able to catch that one. And it's
foul ball.
Fouled up out of play behind the backstop. That'll be 2 strikes on Lauren Clark.
Bingham Field It's a big deal, man. Do you ever have anything named after you, Blake?
Not anything that nice.
That was a great presentation there by this.
Pitch 3 is a little bit outside. That'll be ball 1.
Dave Nicholas and the Sholo administration, having Stan Bingham and family who are so crucial to the Sholo softball program since its inception.
And the community, as we saw earlier.
Yes, affecting a lot of players.
Pitch 4 was in the dirt. Best ball 2, 2-2 on the count. Comes the pitch, and Clark's going to nail it right up the third base side between third base and shortstop. That'll be a base hit from Clark. And she makes it to first, so we've got runner on first base for the Sholo Cougars. No outs.
Up to bat, number 14, Autumn Cody. Gonna have a pinch runner.
It'll be interesting to see if the Cougars can answer back. They climbed back into the game last inning, as we saw, to bring the score to 4-3, but Snowflake answered back this past inning and have got another one up on the board, so they're back down 2. Cougars are. Got a runner on first, no outs. Comes the pitch, and it's hit a blooper in the infield to first base. Runner gets caught up by the fielder, is almost caught in a rundown situation, but they end up throwing it to second base.
We don't know what's going on.
I don't know what
here.
happened there, but
the ump's just shaking his head. We don't know what's going on.
There's
Everybody's
confusion
safe
on the field. Coach is coming out to get some clarification from
Is
the
everybody
ump.
safe? We're going to have Mr. Chavez come over here and take a look. So give me a recap on what happened right there.
So basically, we had a blooper ground ball hit to the first baseman. The runner who was on first for the Cougars took off running but got caught up in the way of the play, which held things up. So the batter makes it to first safely. They try to make the play at second. And they are going to call interference on the runner for the Cougars. And that makes sense, Ron, as she did hold up the play. And that's going to be out number 1 for the Cougars here in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, you're hearing what the fans think.
Well,
and the coach is going to talk here for a moment. And that's going to leave us with Autumn Cody on first. And this is actually twice, Blake, that we've seen the more inexperienced courtesy runners making some mistakes for the Cougars.
Earlier it ended up benefiting the Cougars, but obviously this time it's not. So we're still in discussion here with the Cougars coach and the umpire Chavez are going to bring in the field ump.
Up next to bat is going to be Shy Wheeler. And the coach going to get an explanation here from the first base umpire.
Ron, have you ever seen anything like that happen before?
Well, you know, Blake, I didn't even see that one happen. So I was trying to do the book. But, yeah, you know, batter interference, it's common. But, you know, we hear some of the fans over here mentioning that she did have an opportunity to field the ball. But the way I understand it is if you're, you know, if you're in the baseline, the runner really has the right of way.
Man, it's such a judgment call here, and obviously you hear a few fans disagreeing with it, but we move on.
Well, we are on Sholo's field. So
that's true.
Oh, quick throw down to first base is going to be a pass ball. That's strike 1.
Runner taking a hefty lead off after that pitch, and the catcher for the Lobos is not going to have it. As I believe that's Stratton behind the plate there. She takes a throw down to first, and they almost catch her, but tough throw.
This is Shy Wheeler, or as we have her in the book, is Shy Wheeler. Could be a nickname, I don't know. Oh, got another substitute courtesy runner here as number 6, Kaylee Hall, comes in. Avery Hall.
Must have a discrepancy with our numbers and lineup here.
Avery Williams coming in as a courtesy runner. And Coach did mention that we have, I think, different colored jerseys. So she's probably a JV player. We don't have her in the.
Oh, okay.
We don't have her in our roster.
And we're still having a little quick discrepancy.
Yeah, Avery Williams.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Questioned by the Lobos coach as she approaches the home plate umpire. Get clarification on the substitute runner. And so we're back here. 1 strike, 1 out. Lobos are up 5-3. And Cougars are up to bat with a runner on first.
Shy Wheeler with an opportunity.
Here comes the pitch. She's going to square around to bunt, but holds it back. The pitch is high. Runner stays at first.
1-1's a count.
Almost looked like they were ready for a steal right there.
It's chilling off, Blake.
It is.
We need to be in the sun.
Pitch come in. Strike number 2. Catches Wheeler swinging on that. It was a great pitch by Tanner. A little bit on the inside corner. Threw some heat after a couple of high pitches. I think threw Wheeler off.
1 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Sholo needing a couple runs here.
Comes the pitch, and that's going to be strike 3 as Wheeler goes down swinging. Great pitch by Tanner. That's 2 outs on the board. There's still a runner on first, a courtesy runner for the Cougars.
Wow, I think we had a change up of batters. Well, up to bat now, Mackenzie Isaac. Back to the top of the lineup.
First pitch is going to be fouled off, out of play. For Isaacs, that'll be strike 1. 2 outs, Cougars still down 5-3 for the Lobos. They've got a runner on first. And pitch number 2 is also going to be fouled up, out of play behind the backstop. So that'll be strike 2. That's Avery Williams, from what we understand, is the courtesy runner on first for the Cougars. 2 strikes as Isaacs is down in the count, 0-2, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch from Tanner. It's going to be low in the dirt for ball 1. Here comes the pitch. She gets the ball in play. It's a foul territory. Left fielder for the Snowflake Lobos, number 4, almost gets on it.
Riley Hensley running over there.
But not quite enough time to get to that ball, and that'll be still strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Wasn't hit real high.
No.
So she didn't have a lot of time to camp underneath that one.
You like to see the players still hustle, though, like she did. Good job by Hensley.
She's squeezing that line over there, too. There's a big gap between left and center.
Another foul ball by Isaacs. That's going to be fouled off, out of play, as she's still battling in this count here, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Breckley Tanner with 64 total pitches here this afternoon. Pitch counts are getting a little high, about even.
Isaacs calls time. The home plate ump steps out and refocuses here. Comes the pitch. That's going to be low outside. That'll be ball 2. You like to see that discipline from a batter who's been battling in this count run. That's 2-2 on the count, but she's been battling from 0-2 for a while, fouling off pitches, and then to see a pitch come in like that and watch it, that's good discipline.
It is.
Here comes the pitch. Outside, that'll be ball 3. And now runner's going to take off to second, and she makes it up safely. That'll advance the runner,
Cody.
Avery Williams, to second base, right?
Oh, yeah, we're the pinch runner.
So full count for Isaacs, 3-2. Cougars have runner on second base, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. And she pops it up. Pitcher, shortstop's going to come in and make the play for the Lobos, and that's going to be out number 3. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Show Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so we can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year.
Welcome back to Show, Arizona, home of the Cougars. You're listening to Show Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. And Northland Pioneer College wants to remind you that when it comes time to start off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition rate in Arizona. That's Northland Pioneer College. As we kick off the top of the 5th inning, Lobos up to bat. Lobos on top, 5-3. Ron, we've seen Snowflake's bats have been hot all afternoon.
Yep, and up to bat, number 3, Jessica Neff, taking ball 2, but she's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. She had a KS and a bunt. I don't know what the KS means. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think that's a strikeout.
Yeah. Swinging, strikeout swinging, and a bunt. Yeah, there you go.
So 2-1 on the count. She hits a foul tip into the backstop. Man, Clark has thrown some heat the first 3 pitches that we've seen out of the gate.
67 on the pitch count.
And she hits it to third base. Grounder's
wow, what a
going
play.
to make the play at first.
What a play. Megan Reed had.
For out number 1.
Well, actually, they call it a foul ball, but Megan Reed had just grabs it like a backhander. It was barely on the foul side. The ump called it foul. But what a play by third base.
Great play. She's hugging the base too, Ron. Look at where she's playing. She's watching. Oh, nice hit out to deep. Oh, wow.
What a catch.
Deep left field. And left fielder for the Cougars makes an incredible catch over the back shoulder. And that was Kerr, you said?
Paige Kerr with an incredible. I was going to jot her down with an opportunity there for our Deemer's Glass play of the game.
That's right. Huge play by left fielder for. We need to write that down, Ron, so we remember that as we get back to that. So that'll be out number 1 for Lobos. It's going to bring number 15, McCray, up to bat. Sophomore this year, batting .467.
Yeah, she's 1 for 2 this afternoon, Haley McCray, and she's grounded out and hit a single here. Swing, strike, foul ball. It's going to take our count to 1-1. With 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Changeup. Wow. That changeup, Blake, I think you might have missed that, but that changeup was probably the slowest pitch that we've seen here this afternoon for a called strike. You couldn't swing at it.
I tell you what, man, Clark's got some incredible off-speed pitches as. Oh, wow.
That's 2 in 1 inning.
Unbelievable
Haley
catch
Housley.
by the shortstop,
Haley Housley.
Haley Housley. And man, just when we thought we might have had a contender for
Yes.
the
No.
the Deemer's Glass play of the game.
Yeah.
Gosh, Housley comes up with a diving catch at shortstop.
That was nice.
For out number 2. Here comes the pitch. And that's going to be 2 strikes on Hensley.
Hensley, she's 2 for 2. 2 for 2 so far this afternoon with a single and a double. See what she can do with this 2-out pitch.
And the pitch is outside. That'll be ball 1.
3-5 here in the top of the 5th.
Hensley, a senior this year. Here comes the pitch, and she swings, hits it right up the middle for a base hit. And that's going to put the Lobos on the bases with a runner at first. Hensley at number 2 is up to bat. Coming up is Thomas.
Kaylee Thomas is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a ground out.
Man, Ron, really seeing the Cougars step up the defense this inning. And Thomas is going to hit it right to first base. And, I'm sorry, second base is going to make the play. Ground out, and that'll be out number 3 for the Lobos. Great job by the Cougars defense. We'll be back in a minute. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician...
First for out number 1. Lobos still on top here, 5-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning as the Cougars try to get something going here with 1 out.
Haley Housley. Up to bat, the shortstop for the Cougars, 5-3. 1 down.
Here comes the pitch for Housley. Strike 1, caught looking just on the inside corner. Great pitch by Tanner.
Packing the heat.
Still throwing heat after 70 pitches.
I'd like to feel some of that heat back here.
Yeah, you'd think some would come off or right behind the plate, you know. Pitch 2 is fouled off, out of play, and that'll be strike number 2.
Blake, didn't you bring your Snuggie or something like that? Your blankie or your sleeping bag or something?
You know, my wife told me to bring a sleeping bag, and I did, but I left it in the car.
Well, it's not doing us much good. Yeah. That's all I can say.
2 strikes on the count, no balls, so Housley's behind in the count here. She hits a grounder to third base, and they're going to make the play over to third.
Play by Jessica Neff to Shaylee Hensley.
Man, Ron, that was a great play. Just looked routine by Neff as she throws out Housley at first. That's what you want to see, T. You want to see the players on those ground balls that are hit soft like that. You want to see them run up on the ball and make the play quick rather than wait for the ball to come to you. Here comes the pitch. Reedhead hits it up the middle for a base hit for the Cougars to get the first base runner on the bag for the inning. 2 outs for the Cougars with Reedhead with a base hit on first base now. And that's going to bring up number 9, Tia Clark, who's catching for the Cougars this game. Still 5-3 here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
That might be what the little 2-out rally here that Sholo needs to get back in this game. Timeout called by Tia Clark.
Here comes the pitch. It's going to be high and outside for ball one.
Reedhead at first. Looking to maybe get a good jump.
If I'm Reedhead here, Ron, and 2 outs, I'm looking for a steal. What do you think?
Yeah, you got to be running.
Strike one, caught looking on the outside corner of the plate. Nice pitch by Tanner, man. And you felt the heat from that one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs.
Nice crowd here this afternoon.
It is. Lively crowd.
Oof, that's close.
Pitch is low and outside. That'll be 2 balls, 1 strike.
Nice center field shot there by our White Mountain Production youth crew, bringing you these sights.
Pitch, and Tia Clark's going to foul it off, out of play. 2-2 on the count with 2 outs.
This will be the fifth pitch here, this at bat.
And as we're in the 5th inning stretch, Ron, just a reminder that Sunrise Park Resort is closed for the winter, but they are going to be reopening Memorial Day weekend with tons of fun summer activities, including the longest zip line in the state of Arizona. You can go to sunriseskipark.com for details. That's sunriseskipark.com.
It's probably longer than the zip line you have in your backyard, Blake.
I would imagine.
Since it's the longest in the state. Oh, there's
And,
your stolen base.
There we go. Pitch comes in high for ball 3 for Clark, and Reedhead's going to take the opportunity to steal a base down to second, putting the Cougars in scoring position here. That's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for Clark. Here comes the pitch. And that's going to be ball number 4 outside. It's going to put Clark on base.
Turned out to not matter anyhow, as Tia Clark takes ball 4. Up to bat, number 6, Kaylee Hall. Again, this could be a 2-out rally.
And Ron, they're going to bring in a courtesy runner for Clark, number 12.
Let me check that. Number 12 is Amateur. We saw her come out and run earlier.
It is nice how the Cougars are taking advantage of all their players, trying to get them in and to their
really
strengths.
They've only had 2 players that haven't played that are suited out today.
So we've got runners on first and second for the Cougars. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be inside for ball 1 to Kaylee Hall. That'll be 1 ball, no strikes. Runners on first and second as Cougars try to get something going here in the bottom of the 5th. Here comes the pitch. Right down the middle, but Hall's not swinging at that. That'll be called strike 1. The pitch is in. Hall hits a blooper back to the pitcher. She runs to first, but Tanner is able to make the play at first base, causing out number 3 for the Cougars, and Lobos will retire the side, still holding the lead 5-3 as we enter the bottom of the 6th. We'll take a quick break. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide at iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Welcome back to Show Low, Arizona. You're listening to Show Low Ford's
Bingham Field
presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalks1067.com. As we kick off the 6th inning, Northern Pioneer College wants to remind you that when it comes time to start off your college education, that you choose the college with the lowest tuition rate in Arizona. That's Northern Pioneer College. And up to the plate now
Breckley
is
Tanner.
number 1.
Breckley Tanner, she almost did one of those slappers.
You've been trying to get that term in there.
Yeah. What's the difference between a slapper and a drag bunt? We don't know.
Well, other than the fact that you just made up that term, yeah.
The slapper?
No.
The drag bunt?
Drag
No,
bunt.
no, that's a real thing,
real?
man.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in baseball. Oh,
okay,
nice hit.
Tanner's going to hit one to deep left field. That's over the head of the left fielder as she rounds over to second base. That's going to be a double for Tanner. Huge hit by the Lobos. Here as they kick off the top of the 6th inning.
She hits it out over Paige Kerr's head, and it hits the fence on one bounce. And Paige, with quite an arm, though, she throws it all the way into second base.
Ron, we were talking earlier about the heat that Clark's been throwing for the Cougars all game long, and you got to imagine just putting a bat on the ball is going to get you some distance. So.
Yes, exactly.
But great swing by Tanner as she matches the two, the swing and the pitch together. And
going to bring up to bat number 10, Shanae Stratton.
Stratton's going to step out of the box for just a second. 1 ball in the count.
Oh, wow.
She hits it right back to the pitcher, but actually is going to hit the pitcher, and that's going to bring...
Yes. Head first, baby.
Wow. That's going to bring Tanner around a diving slide into home plate to make it safely to score another one up on the board for the Lobos. That'll be 6-3 now.
You know, that's a great base hit right back at the hard to the pitcher, and there's no way that she could have grabbed that.
That end up hitting her?
It hit her and bounced towards first base.
Yeah, hard hit ball by Stratton, and she will make it safely to first. So
she scores Breckley Tanner.
So that'll still be no outs for the Lobos. They score a run, making it 6-3, and that's going to have a runner on first. Stratton's on first. She's a senior this year as well. That's going to bring up to the plate Bauer.
And they're going to let the pitcher get some pitches in after being hit by that ball. It's one of the dangers of being so close to the batter, throwing hard and hard hit balls.
Especially in softball, Ron, as you notice that the pitching mound is a little bit closer.
It's right there. It's flat.
So Hallie Bauer's up to the plate for the Lobos now with Stratton on first. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be high and outside for ball 1. And Stratton had a huge leadoff. The catcher, Tia Clark throws it down to first, but Stratton ends up taking off for a stolen base instead of tagging back to first. So she'll be on second now for the Lobos. Probably a smart move by Stratton. She would have gotten picked off. Tia Clark doing a good job behind the plate. And the pitch is going to be called a strike on the inside corner to Bauer. That takes us to 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch, and Bauer's going to hit a high pop fly out to left field, and that's going to be caught.
Nice catch by Kerr. Paige Kerr.
Paige Kerr, and as that's hit, Ron, we want to remind everybody that Black Diamond Auto Glass reminds us that they use 2 installers, just like they remind you to use 2 hands as you make a catch like that. As Black Diamond Auto Glass, they use 2 installers for every job. So that'll be out number 1 for the Lobos. Here comes the pitch to number 8, Hensley. She hits a nice shot out to left field. So Hensley ends up driving in Stratton to home plate, and she ends up getting a double out of it. Nice hit by Hensley. And pitch number 1 to Johnson is going to be a ball outside. So Hensley's on second base, 1 out, 7-3 now. Lobos up on top. Here comes the pitch, and that's right down the middle. Strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Johnson, who's a junior this year. Here comes the pitch, and that's going to be low.
One of those change-ups.
And strike 2 called again right down the middle. That's 2-2 on the count.
1 out. Top of the 6th.
Here's the pitch, and Johnson hits a hard grounder out to left field. Oh, man.
What a collision.
A collision at the plate as Hensley came around to slide in. She makes it safely, and which brings the batter around to third base.
You know, I'm kind of surprised that they keep testing Paige Kerr's arm. She's got quite an arm, and you know, both times they've had a single to left field. They've sent the runner from second base all the way home, and so far it's worked out well for Snowflake.
But that was a close one, Ron.
It
That was down to the tag, and even a little bit of a collision between Snowflake's runner and Tia Clark at the plate. But they do end up scoring. That's going to bring the score to 8-3 with a runner on third base. That's Johnson who hit that, what ended up being a triple. And that's going to bring up Neff to the plate with 1 strike as she swung at that first pitch and missed. Comes pitch 2, and that's going to be fouled up out of play. 2 strikes as Jessica Neff goes down to the count, 0-2. Pitch number 3 is going to be a ball outside, 1-2 on the count. Runner at third base, 1 out. And the pitch is called straight looking on Neff. Great pitch by Clark, and that'll put 2 outs on the board. Still runner on third base. And we got McCray up to bat. She hits a grounder to shortstop. Is going to throw it to first base and make the play. That'll be out number 3.
Been some incredible routine plays here in the infield tonight.
Great job by the shortstop for the Cougars, and that'll retire the side, and we will come back in a minute. Ron, this is Show Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide iTalk1067.com.
Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year.
Welcome back to Sholo, Arizona. And what's the name of the field again?
Bingham Field.
Bingham Field.
Stan Bingham.
Stan Bingham Field, as we are back at the Sholo Cougars versus the Snowflake Lobos game here. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. Pine Top, Sholo, and 102.5 Pine Top, a Kopaniki communication station. Bottom of the 6th inning.
Number 15, Lauren Clark. Boom!
pitch in is going to be fouled off by big swing there.
Just going for the fence. It wouldn't surprise me if we were able to get a home run today. It's some really hard hit balls, especially by Snowflake.
0-1 on the count. And Ron Clark's pitching a great game today. You can't fault her.
No. She can help her own cause here by getting a base hit.
Pitch 2 is be fouled off again behind the backstop, out of play. That'll be strike 2. And Clark ends up hitting a blooper ground ball right back to the pitcher, Tanner, who makes the routine play out at first. So that'll be out number 1 for the Cougars. Tough to see that after 2 huge swings by Clark.
Just a miss hit.
Great pitching by Tanner and good play to follow up.
Up to that, number 14, Autumn Cody.
Take ball 1 on the inside. And coach for the Lobos is going to call ump over. Quick chat. Hopefully they're ordering us some cheeseburgers, Ron.
I'm pretty sure I can read lips, and that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know what they could be talking about because it's only 1 pitch to this batter. Oh, maybe they have a discrepancy on who should be at bat.
Lineup.
But that's who we had, I think. Although we've been a little bit thrown off by some flex players in the lineup, some DPs and flexes and slappers and things that we just don't know that much about.
We're learning all about softball today.
So we're going to see what we decide to do here.
And the catcher, Stratton, took an opportunity to go back up and talk to Tanner. And they're just confirming. They're just confirming the batter lineup for the Cougars, and all is confirmed. So we're back to the action at the plate here. Autumn Cody.
Autumn Cody, number 14. And we'll call timeout. Think about it.
Pitch in, and a great pitch by Tanner. Heat seen on that one. It's going to be strike 1 as Cody swings at that but misses. Good placement by Tanner on that outside corner there. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be outside for ball 2. Two and 1 on the count, 1 out. Here comes the pitch, and huge hit by Cody up the third base line all the way to the fence, and she's going to make it to first base safely, but great job by the left fielder for the Lobos getting that ball in so quickly, Ron.
Yeah, that's definitely a shot down the third base line, but it's hit so hard that Snowflake was able to get the ball in quickly.
Yeah, almost worked against the Cougars on that, but a huge hard hit ball out to Hensley, Riley Hensley out in left field, who makes a great play getting the ball back in really quickly. But that's going to put the Cougars on the bag, first base, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning, and they really need to get something happening here, Ron, as they're behind 8-3 to the Lobos.
Well, we're going to have a designated hitter, number 13, Gaylord. Brooke Gaylord coming up to bat.
And Ron, you mentioned it earlier today that just a little bit earlier in our broadcast, it was cooling off, and we started this game in the mid-50s, and you can kind of already feel it.
What is it? It's not. It's more than. It's less than 50.
Yeah, our thing's saying 50, but we're in the shade. It's got to be 30 here.
That's what I'm thinking.
Pitch number 1 is strike to
Brooke Gaylord.
Brooke Gaylord.
Number 13.
And pitch number 2 is strike. Tanner's working the plate here. 0-2 on the count. And we've got a runner on first for the Cougars. Here comes the pitch.
Oh.
Swing and fouled up, out of play. Remains 0-2. Pitch and a hard hit ball just up the middle between third base and shortstop. It's going to be a base hit, and that'll put runners on first and second for the Cougars as they try to get a rally started here in the bottom of the 6th inning, a much needed rally. 8-3 as they trail to the Lobos.
Up to bat, number 4, Hall. Oh, she rips it over the right fielder's head.
Huge hit all the way to the fence. It's going to bring runners circling around home plate. Number 14 scores. Here comes number 13, but it's going to get tagged out at the plate.
Wow, I wonder why she didn't slide.
That's unfortunate.
Hall hits a triple. 1 run scores.
Is that Hall or is that Isaacs? We got 2 number 4s here.
Well, maybe that was Isaacs. Let me cancel that.
Yeah, I think that's Isaacs. She's got the black jersey.
Mackenzie Isaacs, yes.
Mackenzie Isaacs hits a triple out to the fence in right field. It's going to bring in to score a runner. Unfortunately, the second runner got tagged at the plate, making it out number 2 for the Cougars. But it does bring the score to 8-4. As Paige Kerr comes up to bat. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. And we've got a runner at third base. Here comes the pitch. A swing and a foul off, out of play. That'll put a strike on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs.
So number 4, Mackenzie Isaacs on third base. Up to bat, number 5, Paige Kerr. 8-4 is our score. Here in the bottom of the 6th with 2 outs.
And the pitch is hit right up the middle, back to the pitcher, but
safe.
There's a line drive up the middle, Ron. The pitcher, Tanner, gets a hand on it, but it was just too hot for a glove. Pops out, which actually benefited the Cougars. It slowed the ball down, and enough time to get her safely to first base and score a run. So that'll be 8-5. With still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning, runner on first base.
It's going to bring up Haley Housey.
So Paige Kerr with a, what'd you call that, a base hit?
That was a base hit. It was hit hard enough, I think, that it was just deflected off the pitcher's glove, and she beats out the throw.
So Housey's at the plate. Ball 1 called for the first pitch, and Paige Kerr's on first base for the Cougars. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th, 8-5. Second pitch is high. That'll be ball 2. So, Ron, we're seeing a little bit of a rally here from the Cougars trying to fight back in this game as they trail 8-5, but started out this inning 8-3. So, making a little bit of a comeback here.
Yeah, 2-out rally, down 3, and, you know, it's been pretty even if we look at the box scores. Snowflake with 14 hits and Sholo with 11 hits. Showing Sholo with a few more errors than Snowflake. Snowflake with 9 left on base, and Sholo with 6 left on base.
Comes the pitch, swing and a miss. by Housley. That'll be strike one. 2 balls, 1 strike. Great pitch by Tanner. Almost some movement on that as it comes right down the middle. And a little bit of an off-speed pitch.
It's a nice pitch.
Great pitch on the inside corner, called strike 2. Kai Housley looking. That'll be 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The bottom of the 6th. And Ron, huge drive earlier out to the fence. Maybe we got to wonder if that would be a contender for the drive of the game. But here comes the pitch. Nice shot by Housley out to the outfield, left field. The runner to second base, Paige Kerr. So we've got runners at first base and second base. Still only 2 outs. Only 2 outs. Still 2 outs.
Yeah, we've had several plays in consideration for our Beeler Orthodontics straight line drive of the game. Live to smile, love your smile.
Brings Reedhead to the plate. Runner on first and second. Here comes the pitch.
Wow.
It's going to be a strike. Nice pitch by Tanner, hitting that outside corner.
Which you can't see from our vantage point. What we get to see is the catcher frame that up in a spot, and the pitcher nailed it.
Yeah, you've seen that happen a couple of times here as she steps up to the outside corner.
Oh.
And she's going to hit a pop fly out to shallow center.
Run scores.
Let's see.
The run scores, but then we have an out at third.
So Megan Reedhead hits a shallow pop fly to center field, ends up dropping for a safe hit, scores a runner. Unfortunately, the runner at second gets tagged out at third, and that's going to retire to side. The run does count. That'll be 8-6. Lobos up on top. And we're going to take a short break here. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Sholo and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com. As we kick off the top of the 7th inning, Northland Pioneer College reminds us that when it comes time to start off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition rate in Arizona. And our leadoff batter, number 4 for the Lobos,
Riley Hensley,
is going to get a base hit.
She's 4 for 4 tonight.
Hot bat by
double
Hensley.
And 2 singles.
She's a sophomore this year. Run.
Brings up to bat number 2, Kaylee Thomas.
First pitch is a ball. Almost looked like Thomas was going to do one of those slappers.
It did. It did look like a slapper for a second. Turns out she pulls back and has a ball.
And that'll be strike 1. One ball, 1 strike, no outs. Man, just like that, Ron, you see the Cougars fight back into this game 8-6, but right off the top of the hitting order here for the Lobos.
Oh, wow. What a changeup.
Nice pitch. That'll be strike 2. Oh, no, he's He's going to call that a ball, and I don't know if the scorekeepers caught that or not. Okay, there they did.
Looked like she went for it. No, another
one. Oh, there we go. There's
that's
a slapper bunt, and that's going to make us.
Oh, she ain't stopping.
Oh, no.
She's out.
Possibly some miscommunication on the leadoff runner there, Ron, as she comes around to third base, ends up colliding with the third baseman.
These girls are playing physical. I mean, this is a physical softball game.
Yeah. So Hensley gets tagged out at third, but does collide with Reedhead on third base. They're going to take a breather to get her composure here.
She's here. She's here on that. She's here. That's a changeup, and she's here.
And so there's some miscommunication or some confusion on the field.
Well, they're saying that she was out of the batter's box, which is really even hard to see at this point. They're saying that she's out of the batter's box when she hit the ball. But, you know, on that changeup, it's coming in so slow, it's almost like she was that slapper there.
Yeah.
She was running to meet the ball.
We did see that.
Yeah, and you can't hit the ball if you're out of the batter's box.
And that is a close play, Ron. As we know in the rules of softball, you're able to hit the slappers, but you cannot step out of the box or you will be called out at the plate. But ultimately, that's the ump's call, and he didn't call it that way. So ends up with a base hit, and she goes around to make it to second base. But the runner at second ends up getting tagged out, which was Thomas.
Thomas is actually at second, and
that was
Hensley was caught stealing there.
First pitch to Tanner is going to be a ball high. So Lobos with one out, one runner on second, and one ball to Brickley Tanner, who's been pitching all game long, doing a great job. Pitch 2 looks like it's going to be high for ball number 2.
That's 2 balls that were high in the strikes in the zone. That one's not.
Right down the middle, and that'll be a called strike looking. Put the count at 2-1.
Top of the 7th, Snowflake just trying to get some insurance runs and try to build some up against Sholo.
Called strike number 2, looking again on the outside corner. Looked a little bit low, but Ron, we've been seeing the home plate umpire calling it like that all game long, so consistency is key.
You're not going to call that one. That was too low.
2-2 pitch ends up low in the dirt, so it'll be 3 balls, 2 strikes on the count for Tanner.
Now, I got to imagine a full count here. The runner's going to be running as soon as it leaves the pitcher's hand. Oh, there's only one out. Maybe not.
And a quick discussion on the field with the field up and the Cougars coach.
So we're not quite sure what's going on, but coach is going to call his team in for a quick discussion, as you can see there with our shots from the White Mountain Youth Production Team. This is really an important out here. Sholo, if they can get out of this inning, coming down into their last at bats, only down by 2. That's a much bigger deal than if they go down 4.
Full count, 3-2. Here comes the pitch, and Tanner's going to swing and hit it right up the middle. It's going to pass up the shortstop, go out towards center field, and they'll get the ball back in, holding the runner at third base, and that'll be a single for Tanner. So no runs scored on that
nothing
play.
hurt there, Blake. Nothing hurt.
Nothing hurt yet
for the Cougars.
But it does advance the runner to third base. So we've got number 2, Kylie Thomas on third base, and Breckley Tanner on first. No runner on second. Runners on first and third. Stratton up to bat. One out.
Shanae Stratton, dangerous hitter here this afternoon. We have her 3 for 4 with a couple singles and an error.
First pitch is fouled off left
three
base.
singles, excuse me.
Left base, third base side. That'll be strike number 1.
Got her down for 3 singles. 3 for 4 on the afternoon, and if she could really break this game open with a hit.
Stratton's a senior this year. Had 72 plate appearances.
Oh.
She does get a base hit right past the third baseman, and that's going to score a run, making it 9-6 Lobos. Advances a runner to second base, and we've got runners on first and second now for Snowflake. And Ron, just like you were talking about a little bit earlier, that's going to be an insurance run for Snowflake, hoping to hold that lead as we're on Cougars' home field advantage here.
Yeah, 9-6. Here's our score.
And up to bat is Haley Bauer. And catcher's going to check the runner at second as she leads off. That'll be strike number 1 on Bauer. And nice drive, but straight to shortstop, who makes the play, tries to make a double play, the tag play at second base for the runner, but overthrows the second baseman. Thankfully, right fielder, number 1 for the Cougars, was there to recover that throw, so no harm for the Cougars on that.
It's almost like she could have thrown it. The first base runner was way further off first base.
Yeah, it might have been just a reaction.
Right.
But good catch, great catch by the shortstop for the Cougars. That'll be out number 2. Still runners on first and second.
Brings up to bat number 8, Shaylee Hensley. Shaylee is 2 for 4 this afternoon.
She'll watch pitch 1 for ball 1. And pitch number 2 is outside, ball 2. Clark almost seemed rushed in that pitch.
She's ready to go. Batters are calling timeouts on occasion. Try to slow her down.
And that pitch will be in, but fouled off, out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Lobos still on top, 9-6. Runners on first and second. As Shaylee Hensley's up to bat. Comes the pitch, and that's high and outside for ball 3. And again, we see Tia Clark check the runner at second base. Not afraid to throw it down, Ron.
No, she's not, and she's not making. I mean, she's making great throws.
Great throws, and almost caught her.
Yep.
Comes the pitch, and it's hit hard to the third baseman. Reedhead makes an incredible catch by the Cougars, and she just tags her base for the force out at third, and that's going to retire the side. Great play by Reedhead.
Wow.
That's got to be in contention for a play of the game for sure. And so we'll take a break here. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Welcome back to Sholo, Arizona. As you join us back here, you're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide at iTalk1067.com.
Across the planet, tuning in.
All kinds of people tuning in.
Yeah,
Ron.
that's probably picking up transmissions from all over the galaxy.
We're bringing up the bottom of the 7th inning as the Cougars try to battle back in this game, and they've done so, but just not quite enough. 9-6, they trail the Lobos here, bottom of the 7th inning. This is it. Go big or go home.
This is it, and will it be interesting to see what the Sholo batters do. We've got number 9, Tia Clark, number 6, Kaylee Hall, and number 15, Lauren Clark up to bat. So see if these guys can whittle away here in the bottom of the 7th.
Tia Clark's gotten on base a couple of times earlier in the game from a couple of walks. Let's see what she does here. As pitch number 1 comes in, she swings and fouls it up. That'll be strike number 1. And man, just coming off that last inning run as the Cougars, Reedhead had a huge play at third base. Hard hit ball and just great play.
Wow, it's close.
Pitch number 2 is going to be
just
a slightly low called ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's a real emotional play. You can remember earlier in the game, she got hit hard on a tag
collision.
Yeah, on a tag collision, and so
here comes the pitch, and it's going to be hit, but just foul.
It's close.
It was close. I like to see the hustle by the Lobos. Great job. You had 3 defensive players running after that foul ball, trying to seal the deal here.
Yeah, and it just drops over first base. Just a foot to 18 inches foul.
So it'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes on the count. And Brickley Tanner's pitched the whole game here. Comes the pitch, and another foul up out of play over the backstop as one of the fans catches it.
That was a changeup. Way to wait on it by Tia Clark.
Well, she's been catching those changeups all game long.
Yep, this is it. Sholo, an opportunity here in the bottom of the 7th, down 3 runs to try to get back in this thing with no outs.
Here comes the pitch.
Wow, he's close.
Going to call that inside. Close pitch. That'll be 2 balls, 2 strikes on the count. Man, Ron, I don't know if I'd be taking that pitch.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
Clark behind in the count like this when everything matters right now. The game's on the line here. Here comes the pitch.
Ball.
And we saw catcher Stratton for the Lobos setting up again on the outside corner of the plate.
So we've been out here 2 hours elapsed time, and it's chilling off. Cougars with an opportunity here, full count. This is a big at-bat for the Cougars.
And pitch is called, ball 4. That'll be walk number 3 for Tia Clark.
Wow.
As she takes the base, and they're going to bring in a pinch runner for her. Number 12 for the Cougars is going to take first base and courtesy run. And that's going to bring up Kaylee Hall at the plate. No outs, runner on first, still 9-6.
Amener's been, she's been running bases all night for different batters. This is important for Amener to run these bases smart. And, Tia Clark, what a great at bat. We talked about protecting the plate, but she didn't even flinch on that inside pitch that was close to a strike. She lets it go for a ball and ends up drawing a walk. It's impressive.
That's right. So puts the runner on. First pitch is ball 1. Second is driven up the middle. Huge hard hit by Hall. That's going to advance the runner to second. Amener to second, and we've got Hall on first. So that'll be runners on first and second. No outs here in the bottom of the 7th for the Cougars as they get a much-needed rally started. And let's see if they can make something happen here, Ron.
I'd just like to mention these pinch runners that are coming in, these courtesy runners. They need to run a little more aggressive. That's twice that it almost looked like Amener maybe could have been thrown out from that shot to center field, but coming in off the bench, they got to get aggressive. They got to be. You see Snowflake girls when they're running the bases, they're going head first everywhere they go, and just
Maybe a little too aggressive last
yeah.
inning as we saw the one get tagged out at third.
Exactly. What a great shot by our White Mountain Youth Production team there as Coach is talking to Lauren Clark, giving her instructions about what he wants to happen here. No outs.
Clark throwing some amazing pitches this game, by the way.
She really has pitched a great game. Ended up being 116 pitches.
Comes pitch number 1, high and inside. That'll be ball 1.
So after having pitched 116 pitches, she comes to the plate for a crucial at-bat as she is the tying run.
And a big hit by Clark, and that's going to be called fair as runner comes around third base and is going to score. Amateur is going to score for the Cougars. Clark, a huge hit, puts her on first base, and Hall on second. So we still have runners on first and second here. No outs, and that brings the score 9-7. Cougars fighting back one by one in this game in the bottom of the 7th. And you hear the fans going crazy here, Ron.
Yep, and we have a Hall subbing in for Lauren Clark on the base paths. And again, she's going to end up being the tying run is at first here. 7-9, Sholo making a comeback. No outs, the bottom of the 7th.
And the Lobos are going to have a quick team meeting on the mound.
Now might be when they think about subbing in a different pitcher to give them a different look. We'll see what coach is talking to them. It looks like a pitching coach there for the Lobos. Now they're going to stick with number 1, Breckley Tanner, who's pitching the whole game. She herself is 115 total pitches.
Great game by Tanner, holding to the Cougars to very few hits, comparatively anyways.
Up to bat is Autumn Cody with a real crucial at bat here for the Cougars.
Here comes the pitch. It's going to be fouled up in play, and it is caught by Stratton. Foul ball was up in the air, caught by Stratton, and that reminds us, Black Diamond Auto Glass reminds us that as you use 2 hands to catch the ball, just like they use 2 installers for every job they do. That's Black Diamond Auto Glass, and that was a pop-up by the Cougars, caught by catcher Stratton. Is going to put out number 1 on the board.
So up to bat is going to be number 1, Shy Wheeler. Again, with the tying run on first base, you know that you hate as a batter. That's frustrating. You know, you foul one off. The catcher, Shanae Stratton makes an amazing play there to catch that foul ball. Oh wow, that strike was inside. Called inside strike.
Nice hit by number 1. It's going to be a base hit out to left field, and that's going to bring Hall around to third base, advance the runners to second and third. Now we have bases loaded here for the Cougars with a 1-out rally. We've got tying run on second and winning run on first as they've trailed the Lobos the entire game, Ron, and coming into the bottom of the 7th, getting some energy going here.
Yeah, and it's going to be a big at bat for Mackenzie. Looks like Mackenzie Isaacs up to bat.
Isaacs had a huge hit earlier. Here comes the pitch. Called strike 1 on the outside corner. Nice pitch by Tanner. And Isaacs is a lefty, which works out to the Cougars' advantage here. If she could pull one out to deep right field.
Yes, it would.
Score a couple runs.
Tying run is on second base with 1 out.
Here comes the pitch, and she does drive it up the middle. Ground ball, that's going to score 1 as the fielder fumbles it, and here comes a tying run at the plate.
Wow, what a hit.
What a game. Isaacs has a huge hit, tying the run 9-9 in the bottom of the 7th. Cougars have trailed to the Lobos the entire game. Isaacs comes up, bottom of the 7th, bases loaded, hits a drive grounder up the middle, is bobbled a little bit, was a base hit regardless, but bobbled a little bit by a center fielder for the Lobos, which ends up scoring a second run, Ron. And we haven't seen a lot of errors here today. I think that's only one for each team now. But it's amazing how important those are and how crucial. You said it starting out the game. It's going to come down to, these errors as we were talking in the pregame, and that puts 9-9.
Paige Kerr, we're going to get a steal down to second base there by McKenzie.
Lobo's going to hold on. Catcher Stratton's going to hold on to that one as they got the winning run on third. It's not worth the risk.
No, and this is a big at bat for Paige Kerr here, number 5. See what she does here. 1 out. All of a sudden, Snowflake's on the ropes.
Here comes the pitch. High.
It's important for these base runners not to do anything too aggressive. Coach is down there on third baseline talking to Sky Wheeler about how to handle this.
They can be a little conservative here with only 1 out. Here comes the pitch, and it's hit into outfield. This could be the game if the runner tags, and she does. She goes home. She's making the run for home, and that is game, Ron.
Wow.
That's going to score the winning run for the Show Cougars.
What a comeback.
Trailed the entire game here and come back in the 7th inning to battle back against the Lobos and hit a walk-off RBI.
Sacrifice fly.
Sacrifice fly. And who was that, Ron? Who hit
that was Paige Kerr.
Paige Kerr with a great hit.
What do we have going on here?
Uh-oh.
I have no idea. Why are they cheering?
A discrepancy on the field. Let's see what's going on.
Oh, I think I hear him saying that she didn't tag up properly. Wow. Wow.
This is unbelievable. I mean, we're over here celebrating, and
yeah, let me try to find out what happened here.
Man, this is a huge discrepancy here. Let's see. There's
let the coach go on the field. She was on the playing field.
They're bringing the Cougars back out.
So the official call is that she didn't tag up. Wow, what a mistake. If she left early.
Unbelievable.
I thought I saw her tagging up, but anyhow, if you're watching online,
the field ump's got a bigger advantage point than we do. But
if you're watching online, you can go rewind that and check that out. Certainly, that'll be a rewind quite a bit. But here's the thing: it's like you have to leave nothing in doubt, or no questions for that. So just when we thought the game was over, like it was a walk-off, all of a sudden the coach tells the players to go throw the ball back to third base, and the ump calls her out because she didn't tag up.
Wow. So we go from 1 out to 3. They retire the side, and now the
extra
Lobos
innings
are back up to bat.
Yes.
And just what we wanted, Ron.
Yes,
with
right.
45-degree weather out here, we got extra innings in this softball game, 9-9. Unbelievable.
I've had enough of you, Shad. No more. No more. You're in a position that you shouldn't be doing that.
So if you're watching the game and you're listening, we've got a lot of chatter behind the backstop here, and a home plate ump comes over and he warns the fans that that's going to have to stop. The game will go on, and here we are, 9-9. Lobos are back up to bat.
So Chandler Johnson now for the Snowflake Lobos.
Here comes the pitch, and it's hit right up the middle by Johnson.
What a turn of events.
That'll be a base hit, putting the Lobos
That's the winning runner
on the
now.
diamond.
No, that wouldn't be the winning runner because we're going to be at the top of the 8th here. But, yeah. There's nothing like extra innings in 35-degree weather. Love it.
Ron, I almost went for a piece of cheesecake right there when I thought the game was over. And here we move on.
You know, what a game here to commemorate the Stan Bingham softball field, the first ever game on this field being renamed by Stan Bingham is going to go into extra innings. Up to bat number 3, Jessica Neff for the Snowflake Lobos.
First 2 pitches are going to be called balls here. And that'll be a strike for Neff.
Said she went.
That'll be 2-1 on the count. We've got Chandler Johnson on first base for the Lobos. No outs, and she's going to foul that one off, out of play. That'll be strike number 2.
You know what I don't know is it must be easier on an athlete's arm to throw underhand, because here we're not even flinching, and Warren Clark has thrown 120 total pitches.
Jeez. Here's the pitch, another foul ball.
She's got 40 balls and 81 strikes. And we're probably certain to see Breckley Tanner come back out, and she's sitting right now at 122 total pitches.
2-2 on the count. She hits a dribbler to third base. Great play by Reedhead, gets the force out at second. But they try for the double.
Geez.
They overthrow first, and they're going to catch a rundown. Ends up in the Cougars' favor. They tag out the batter. Wow.
You know,
unbelievable.
That's just poor base running there. She's just unsure, and you know, Snowflake's going to be left with easily should have still had a batter on and only 1 out, but now they got 2 outs.
So if you're just tuning in, what happened, there was a dribbler ground ball hit to third base. Reedhead makes the force out at second, and the second baseman turns to make the double play attempt at first, but overthrows the bag. The runner for Snowflake then hesitates a little bit and then makes a run for second, but at that time, Sholo Cougars make the tag out at second. So now we have number 15 for the Lobos, hit it out to deep left field, but McCrae, but the Cougars make the catch to retire the side, and that'll be 3 up, 3 down. Still 9-9 tied score as we go into the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Sholo and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
For details.
Haley Bauer now pitching.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com as we enter the bottom of the 8th, Ron. Exciting game here.
Crazy. You know, we talked about errors. The errors are just costing both teams. We had an error on a base runner leaving early. It would have been the winning run, and then we just had some errors, some poor base running by Snowflake to keep this game tied when they had runners on base. And so we're going to see who can tighten their game up here and get a run.
Well, Northland Pioneer College reminds you that when it comes time to start off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona. And so that's Northland Pioneer College. NPC, as we like to call it.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Hey, we got a new pitcher in the game now for the Snowflake Lobos. Is number 6, Haley Bauer, and she's throwing some heat to come in and try to keep this game going.
So the Cougars try to put a nail in the coffin here, hopefully, but it's tied up 9-9, so they're going to have to get something started in the bottom of the 8th. as they approach the plate here. Number 3 is up to bat for the Cougars. Here's the first pitch. It's going to be low in the dirt from Bauer. That'll be ball 1.
Haley Housley up to bat. Strike called.
Be 1-1 on the count. Comes the pitch, is low in the dirt and inside for ball 2.
Haley throwing hard, but not quite as accurate as we saw the whole game from Breckley Tanner.
2 balls, 1 strike. 9-9 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be hit. It looks to be foul and unplayable. Yet again, we see 2 Lobos defense players running hard after that ball. Good attempt.
They've been hustling impressively the whole game.
Second base and right field looks like. So we'll give a quick shout out to number 12, Chandler Johnson, jogging out to try to catch that one, but it was out of play. Here comes the 2-2 pitch by Hallie Bauer. Inside and in the dirt, that'll be ball 3, full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, bottom of the 8th for the Cougars as they try to come back and win this game after being behind the entire game until the 7th inning run.
It's been an impressive comeback.
3-2 pitch is in the dirt, and that's going to put
Haley Housley on first base.
Housley on first base. All right.
It's going to bring up number 2, Megan Reedhead.
No outs. Reedhead having an impressive defensive game today. Tied score, 9-9. Bottom of the 8th. Reedhead up to bat. Here comes the pitch. And it looks like it's a little bit high for ball 1. Nice pitch, though. What a great viewpoint from our center field camera for the White Mountain Youth Productions team. And pitch number 2 is going to be a ball. 2-0 the count to Reedhead. Tie scored 9-9. And you can hear the fans cheering.
Going crazy.
And the pitch is hit, but straight to the shortstop. First base runner was caught off the bag and was unable to tag up in time and gets thrown out at first. That's a double play by the shortstop and first baseman. And I can't quite see who's out on shortstop. I don't know if you
the shortstop right now is Brickley Tanner, the girl who pitched the whole game.
Man, what a play by Tanner. She had a great game. He's going to pull a double play. So just like that, you got 2 outs and no runners on. We might be here all night. We're going to have.
Let's go. Let's do this.
We're going to have Ashley bring us some food or something.
Yeah, we'll have some listeners bring us over a snack. And right there in the shot, you can see Blake Murchison. Yeah, behind the car. That's why you like that shot.
Yeah, I do, man. Here comes the pitch, and great pitch by Bauer right down the middle, called strike 1 to the catcher, Tia Clark. 0-1 on the count, 2 outs. Pitch is hit straight to the first baseman, fielded and made a routine play.
Let's go, 9, baby.
First to retire the side by number 8, Hensley, and that's going to do it for that inning. And we're about to go into the 9th inning, Ron.
Let's go.
Extra innings.
We could have had a 9th inning stretch. Let's go ahead and just give it to them.
We could have, yeah.
Right there, Sunrise Ski Park.
We'll be right back. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk 106.7.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
Welcome back to Bingham Field on the campus of Show Low High School. I'm Ron Everingham, and I'm finishing up a Snickers. Got to have one of those to start off the 9th inning here. We're a tie ball game. The scoreboard says 9s across the board. 9-9 in the 9th inning. And we still got Lauren Clark on the mound. She pitches her first pitch in there for a strike. Up to bat is number 4, Riley Hensley. Second pitch on the way is a ball. Good crowd out here tonight for the first commemoration of tonight's field. Nice presentation there in the pregame. 2 hours and 30 minutes ago already. That pitch was fouled off. It's going to take our count to 2-1. That pitch is called a ball. Blake, we have a 9th inning sponsored. It's Twix and Snickers.
All right.
Brought to you by Twix and Snickers because Marcus came over here and he showed me where the stash is. Oh, strike. 3 is going to be an out.
Well,
Strike
I had
out
to
swinging.
take a quick break, Ron. Turns out that I thought this game was going to be done a couple innings ago.
Yeah, you've been
Turns
trying
out
to hang on.
Slamming the big gulps beforehand wasn't a good idea. So
strike out swinging.
About we got number 2, Thomas. And looks like she's doing one of those.
She thought about the slapper.
Slapper stance. So, and I know Sholo, coach earlier had some discrepancy. You know, he thought there was a discrepancy with the batter potentially stepping out of the box. So let's see what happens here. She does do the slapper hit, but was fielded great by. Was that Reedhead or was that shortstop?
That was actually
that was
Megan Reedhead.
Ran in for the catch, and she was playing shallow. Great play. That's going to be 2 outs. Comes the pitch, and it's outside for ball 1.
Breckley Tanner up to bat. Breckley 2 for 4 on the night.
Nice off-speed pitch by Clark. I mean, that thing couldn't have gone any slower coming in here and grabbed the outside corner of the plate. And Clark's been pitching a great game today.
She has, and she's been pitching a long time. 132 pitches right there.
And a hit by Tanner goes straight into the glove of the shortstop for the Cougars. That'll be out number 3. Great catch by Housley. A little blooper line drive, and she caught it just in time. And that'll retire the side. We'll be right back. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
Welcome back to Show Low, Arizona. The newly named Bingham Field, home of the Cougars, as we watch the Snowflake Lobos battle it out with the Show Low Cougars, 9-9. And that's right, if you're watching online and you see all those nines up there, we are in fact in the 9th inning, extra innings here. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school softball. And as we get things running here.
The 9th inning stretch.
This is the 9th inning stretch. We can give a quick shout out to Sunrise Park Resort. They are closed for the winter on, but if you wanted to go back out, they're going to be open again starting Memorial Day weekend. They've got their new zip line running. They got summer activities, including the longest zip line in the state of Arizona. You can go to sunriseskipark.com for details.
We got to get on that thing, Blake. See if Camden will take us up there.
I'll have to see if my wife will let me first.
Yeah. She'll just stick a helmet on you. She's got life insurance. Go for it.
So here we go. Bottom of the ninth. Yeah, pitch number 1 is going to be in the dirt. That'll be ball 1
to Kaylee Hall.
Hall's 2 for 3 on the night. Here comes the pitch. It'll be high for ball 2.
On deck is number 15, Lauren Clark.
And Ron, they've got the lights turned on here for us. I don't know if that's a good sign.
Yeah. Bingham Field lights.
3 balls and 0 strikes on the count. You got to wonder if Hall's going to be looking at this no matter what. Get a runner on base. Puts the pressure on Bauer. Here comes the pitch. And it is called strike 1, and she was looking. I don't blame her.
Yeah, she might have got the take call from the coach.
Yeah.
What a great view. If we get that shot again from the center field, look at the intensity on her eyes.
Yeah.
And she's looking for this pitch here.
3-1, here comes the pitch, and it's high. That'll be a ball 4, and potentially the winning run on first base for the Cougars. No outs, one runner on.
It's a big deal.
Going to bring out Lauren Clark. Pitching an amazing game here for the Cougars.
Don't forget the importance here. Show Low can't forget the importance of the base running at this point. Again, base running is what cost them the game, as they thought they had a walk-off hit there in the regulation. It's going to be important for Kaylee Hall to pay attention.
Here comes the pitch, is low. That'll be ball 1. Tense game. You can hear fans from both sides
yelling and screaming.
And the pitch is high for ball 2.
I think these batters are going to make Haley Bauer pitch some strikes here before they start swinging.
And the ump's going to call that one strike 1 to Lauren Clark as she watches it come by the plate. It was a little low, but again, we mentioned it before. It was across the plate, and he's been calling them consistently on the low side. So that'll be 2-1 on the count. Runner on first for the Cougars, no outs. Here comes the pitch. And she nails it in the gap between third base and shortstop, and that's going to be a base hit for Clark, advancing The Cougars, and that'll put Kaylee Hall on second and Lauren Clark on first. No outs.
Up to bat, number 14.
Winning run on second base.
Autumn Cody.
Autumn Cody up to bat. No outs. Tied 9-9 in the bottom of the 9th inning. 2 runners on. Here comes the pitch. And it's called strike.
Called strike, but the runner kind of, the batter kind of flinched back like it was going to be an inside pitch.
Looked like it might have caught the inside corner. Here comes the pitch. It's bunted,
wow.
But it's going to be just foul.
That was a great attempt at a bunt. Caught everybody by surprise, and
really
she
did.
almost put it in play.
Ron, did you see that coming?
No, I did not.
So
She
it even
sprung
got
it on
you.
us.
Yeah.
If that would have been fair, I think we would have had bases loaded. There was going to be no play on that one.
Great bunt attempt.
But as it turns out, that's a strike.
That's right. That was a short strike.
That's right. A short strike.
0-2 the count. Here comes the pitch, and that was inside for ball 1. And if I'm Autumn Cody, I was a little bit leery to take that one, although it was definitely inside, but she got called looking for the inside pitch just a little bit ago. So 1-2 the count, and we've got runners on first and second. Here comes the pitch, and she hits it, pop fly out into the outfield. Left fielder comes in to make the play, does make the catch, and that'll be out number 1. And that's a Black Diamond Auto Glass, actually, fly ball right there. Black Diamond Auto Glass reminds you to use 2 hands, just like we saw there. Just like they send 2 installers. Every job.
Every job.
That's
2
Black
installers.
Diamond Auto Glass. So 1 out here for the Cougars. Runners on first and second.
The runners were held up on that one because it was a short fly ball.
And up to bat is Sky Wheeler.
Shy Wheeler.
Shy Wheeler. It's getting cold.
Yeah, it's hard to talk. Ball high.
First pitch is a ball.
Although I got to say that those Snickers are helping. Just need a coffee.
1 out. Here comes the pitch. And it's hit, but a tiny blooper just goes barely in front of the catcher. It's overthrown to first, and that's going to score the winning run for the Cougars. And I don't think there can be a discrepancy on that, Ryan.
No.
That looks like it'll do it, as that tiny little hit by Wheeler is going to score a run by an error of an overthrown ball at
Yes,
first
it
base.
is. It is, but I kind of wonder. I'd have to watch the replay, but it looked like she might have been safe anyhow. So, which still would have held up the.
It's a tough call to throw it then.
Yeah, I'm going to give her a base hit on that one because it was a little bit like a bunt. So.
She took a swing, but the ball came straight down from the bat, almost, about the same distance as a bunt, as Ron mentioned. Ends up moving the runners to third and second, and then the ball was overthrown at first base, which ends up scoring the winning run by the Cougars. So the final score here in Show Low, Arizona is going to be 10 for the Show Low Cougars and 9 for the Snowflake Lobos. In 2 extra innings in the bottom of the 9th as the Show Low Cougars take the lead and win the game here. We'll be right back with a couple of mentions. Ron, we've got Deemer's Glass. Need for glass for your home or business. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands-on, the best place to call. And they'll be bringing us our Smooth as Glass play of the game, as well as our Beeler Orthodontics straight line drive of the game. Live to smile, love your smile. And then we'll top it all off with the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player of the game. The player of the game is brought to you by Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store, and they have the best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing, and camping gear on the mountain. And if you're looking for that, go to Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store, south of Pine Top on Highway 260. We'll be right back with that information and more. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
It's easy to see why the Ford F-150 is the #1 selling truck in America. For more than 40 years, no other truck has even come close. And Sholo Ford is hands down the best place to buy your next vehicle. Just take a look at Guy Hatch's promise. He won't be beat on any deal on any new Ford in the state of Arizona. And on top of that, you'll get a lifetime engine warranty. Go to SholoFord.com or visit them on the east end of the Deuce. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
It's easy to see why the Ford F-150 is the #1 selling truck in America. For more than 40 years, no other truck has even come close. And Sholo Ford is hands down the best place to buy your next vehicle. Just take a look at Guy Hatch's promise. He won't be beat on any deal on any new Ford in the state of Arizona. And on top of that, you'll get a lifetime engine warranty. Go to SholoFord.com or visit them on the east end of the Deuce. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Welcome back to Shiloh, Arizona, home of the Cougars at Brigham Field. And Ron, we're back here, Shiloh Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. And we've got a couple things to mention here. We got Beeler Orthodontics, straight line drive of the game. Live to smile, love your smile. That's Beeler Orthodontics. And we also have Deemer's Glass, smoothest glass play of the game. And so, Ron, we talked about it over the break. Man, a huge defensive rush here by the Cougars throughout the game. You saw that, a huge step up because the bats of the Lobos were on all night long. And so really great fielding by the Cougars. A lot of plays that we had written down throughout the game that were honorable mentions. But when it comes down to it, Ron, who do you tag on as the Deemer's Glass, smoothest glass play of the game?
Well, there's so many great plays to pick from. And like you mentioned, I think Snowflake tonight, they played the more consistent game. They came out, and the bats were hot, and it really seemed like Sholo was going to have trouble. But Sholo had these little spurts that kept them in the game and then finally won it for them. And so for our Deemer's Glass, smoothest glass play of the game, we had two in the 7th inning that were just amazing. And we're going to go with Megan Reedhead. She had a catch at third that was just amazing on that play. And just came right off of another play where we had our Sholo left fielder, Paige Kerr, had just made an amazing play, but she gets an honorable mention. We'll go with Megan Reedhead for the catch that she made.
I tell you what, man, that was a hard hit ball too.
Yes.
And she made it quick on her toes thinking, made a forced tag at third for that catch. And that's so we're going Megan Reedhead for the Deemer's Glass, smoothest glass play of the game. And that's Deemer's Glass. Need glass for your home or business? Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call. Quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass, call 1-888-GLASSMAN. So that brings us on to our Beeler Orthodontics Live to Smile, Love Your Smile straight line drive of the game.
Well, I don't know if we'd call it a drive, but we have selected number 1 Shy Wheeler for her hit there at the end of the game. It was kind of like a full swing, but kind of like ended up like a bunt, and she ends up scoring the winning run. And so we want to say congratulations to Shy for putting the bat on the ball and putting the ball in play, and then getting a play at first that I think she would have been safe at anyhow, and scoring the winning run for the Cougars. So congratulations to number 1 Shy Wheeler.
So that's Shy Wheeler for our Beeler Orthodontics straight line drive of the game. Live to smile, love your smile. And we'll take a quick break here and come back to wrap things up with our Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player of the game. And so
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so we can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
And we're back here live in Show Low, Arizona. Hey, that's on us, Ron.
Yes, that's nice.
All right,
That's
welcome back. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com. Ron, a lot of great pitching tonight, a lot of great bats on both teams, really. And so we come down to our last mention of the night, and that's our Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player of the game. And that's brought to you, of course, by Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store for the best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing, camping gear on the mountain. Go to the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store south of Pine Top on Highway 260. And so, Ron, that gives us the player of the game. Who are we looking at?
Well, you know, a lot of worthy athletes out here tonight, but we have to go with number 15, Lauren Clark. Lauren, who came out tonight, started on the mound, and she really fought through a lot of great batting by the Snowflake Lobos, fought through it all, and still came out here and connected and on 132 total pitches. And then also she had several hits from the offensive side, including some crucial ones there that helped her team almost win it in regulation. And then, certainly was a contributor the whole game. And so we want to say congratulations to number 15, Lauren Clark. Lauren, you played a great game and certainly are worthy of our Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player of the game. Congratulations.
That's Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store south of Pine Top on Highway 260 for all your hunting, fishing, camping, and hiking gear on the mountain. Go to the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. And Ron, that's going to just about wrap it up for us here. This has been a Show Low Ford presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7. You're listening to High School Softball presented by Show Low Ford on iTalk 106.7, KNKI, Pine Top, Show Low, and on 102.5 Pine Top, a Kopaniki communication station. This is Blake Murchison for Ron Everingham, backstop side in Show Low, Arizona, saying good night to all.
Good night, everybody.